Oladayo Oyelade is the founder and CEO of Credit Africa, where he leads the mission of empowering inclusive financial futures for Africans using AI, providing credit facilities to sole traders, and helping other lending institutions underwrite efficiently. Oladayo Oyelade is also the founder and ex-CTO of Enthronement Software Engineering Limited, Lagos, Accra, USA and Canada. Dayo's previous positions include CTO at Atlas Money, mobile banking platform USA, senior software engineer at Andela, global software outsourcing firm, and others. He is happily and irrevocably married to Oluwakemi and blessed with 2 sons, Praise and Asha. Where there isn't much to do, Dayo enjoys time in politics and sports.
Today, I'm going to be talking about driving business growth. Driving business growth. What is the purpose of business? The purpose of business is to gain profit. Then, what is profit? Profit can be money. Profit can be influence. Profit can be many other things. So what is growth? Growth is the movement from one point to the other. So there are different approaches to grow a business. Next slide. We have revenue-centric growth, people-centric growth, profit-centric growth, demand-centric growth, capital-centric growth. So we are going to focus on people-centric growth. But what is revenue-centric growth? Your main focus is on growing revenue. What is revenue? The money that you bring in when you sell, whether you are selling a good or a service. So the entire focus is on revenue. This approach is used by VCs a lot, venture capital. They are more focused on bringing in as much revenue. They are not even concerned, for the first 5-10 years, they are not concerned about profit. They are trying to grow revenue aggressively. So that's an approach to grow a business. The other one is people-centric growth. The focus is on the people. Then profit. You see this with banks. The entire focus is generating as much profit as possible by reducing the cost of operation, increasing revenue. Then when you subtract that, you get profit. So their focus is more on profit. The fourth one is demand-centric growth. The entire focus is on increasing the demand from customers. Then the fifth one is capital-centric growth. You are just focused on increasing your capital base. You are raising money, you are raising funds from VCs, from angel investors. You are aggressively raising money. So all these different approaches, they have their own strategy. You can start with one and end up with another. You can start with revenue, then you move to profit. So, but today, I want to talk about people-centric growth. Next slide. People-centric growth. Who are the people? Who are the people? Who are the people? I'm still going to come back to the slide. Who are the people? Number one, your employees. Two, your customers. Three, government. The owners, the shareholders, the media, your local communities. These are the people. So this form of growth, all your attention is focused on making sure that these people are happy. You are making sure that their welfare is secured, and you are making sure that they are satisfied. So we are going to highlight employees and customers. Employees and customers. Employees and customers. Now, the employees are the people that you hire. I know we have people in the house that you're selling one or two things. Your employees are the people that you hire. Then, your customers are the people that you are selling to. Your focus is to ensure that they are happy. And if you can make them happy, then every other thing can come. Revenue and profit. Now, SMEs, businesses in Nigeria contribute at least, all the SMEs contribute like 96%. 96%. So when we talk of SMEs, we are talking of small, medium enterprise. You are owner of a small business, you have a shop. You are selling something, you have some employees. You are medium scale, you have some businesses that you are doing, more organized. So it contributes 48% GDP. 50% of these businesses failed in the first year. 95% failed after 5 years. So that means 5% survived. Now, I introduced to you today what I've used, what we've used, and has worked. I came to Lagos 2014. A friend gave me 3,800 naira. 2014. With one bag, I went to Dallas side. I was to interview the next day. I had to borrow the suit that I was to interview. That's 2014. Just 11 years. I borrowed the suit. And when I got to the interview, it was in Jibo, that Fade side. They were laughing at me. They said, why is this one wearing suit? Because everybody, they were rolling their shirts. So I was looking like, I can't work here. There's no way. But God told me that you'll be among white people by June 2014. So I interpreted it. I said, no, it's not June. That means it's September because I'm going to school. But it happened. So I was in Jibo. The person that interviewed me, I arrogantly asked him, where did you see this company in the next 5 years? And he told me it's not a matter of years, it's a matter of months. And that word entered my spirit. That is the reason why I stayed. Because I came to just come and check Lagos. That's my first time coming to Lagos from Abuja. I got a scholarship to study in US Embassy, to study there, to go and do my doctorate and teaching assistant. So I said, let me come to Lagos. But when he said that, that thing was ringing in my spirit. So, fast forward, they called us for a boot camp. Like secondary school table and chairs. And I joined. I said, okay, I will challenge myself. I don't know how to write code. I can't write, I don't even know HTML. I can't write any simple script. So they started training us. And it came to pass that white people started coming. The first person, Jeremy, former CEO of Andela. I'm talking about Andela. Jeremy, Christina, most of the people that trained me, they were white. Fast forward. They were paying us very little. I don't want to mention the amount, but less than 100,000. Let me even mention, like 60-something thousand. I would ask God that, is this why you asked me to come to Lagos? For almost 2 years, we were there. And the favor of God was just upon me. I began to tell them things that will happen in 10 years. So my bosses, they like me. Because we discuss, and I would say, oh, I see this company determining tech in Africa. That's the main reason they chose me. Fast forward, I left. I worked in different places. Then, God showed me people. I was in front of people. That was how Enyata was bettered. I had few money. Yes, I was working for a foreign company. I saved some money. I had few money. So I had to start with that. So I want to talk about people-centric growth. When your desire is consumed by the people around you, it will grow. You are running a business, you need to start thinking about the people that you are going to hire. The people that are sitting beside you, you are looking at them. You already have plans in your head for them. I have plans for everybody around me. So I brought my friends to take. A lot of people, I brought them to take. I was bringing them. So we started a company with my very good friend. He's in South Africa now. With a single table and a single chair. We'll go there every day. Every day. Every day. But I've seen growth before. I've seen Jeremy and Christina fighting on computers. That's Andela $1 billion, almost 2 or 3 big fight saying, oh, we can't buy a MacBook for them. Or we can afford this. I've seen it. But saying is one thing, not doing it. So we're there, and God started moving. I left the company last year, August, after 5 years, 2 months. And God helped us to help a lot of people. That's the success story, not the revenue. We made revenue, yes, but God helped us to raise. I have people now in almost all the continents, in Asia, in Europe, in North America, everywhere. Next slide. This is what God put in my spirit to talk about. Jesus fed 5,000 men, women, and children. After Jesus performed many miracles, crowds started following him. So the Bible recorded in the book of John chapter 6, this same account you can find in Matthew, in Mark, in Luke. In John chapter 6, Jesus saw the crowd coming. The question that came to his mind is, how do we feed these 5,000 people coming? How do we feed them? He knew the answer in his heart. Then he asked Philip, Philip, where do we get food for these people? We are talking about people-centric growth. Where do we find food for these people? Then Philip answered. Look at the answer. It will take more than half of the salary, annual salary, to feed these people. That is not the question that he asked. Then Andrew, another disciple, he was not the one who asked, the question was sent to. Andrew answered, there's a little lad with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. 5, underline, small. There's a small. If you read NIV, small. 5, small. That's the adjective. So it is 5 is small itself, then small. He said, but where will he reach? But at least Andrew was able to what? See. Andrew saw what Philip did not see. He was not even the one. And if you study about Andrew, you see that Andrew was the same person that told Simon Peter that now we've seen the Messiah. So he's the first person. So he has the gift of seeing, of vision. Then the boy also released, because he can also decide not to release it. The boy released. Then Jesus lifted the bread and the 2 fishes. And you know what happened? Jesus fed the 5,000. Then the children, the women, let's assume like 15,000. Then there were 12 baskets left. People-centric growth. Jesus cares about people. He wants to feed people. Now, will you put yourself in the position of the disciple, now Andrew, seeing the people that Jesus wants to feed? It has to start from your mindset. In fact, you don't need to. I remember when I was in Mandela, I was paying attention to generator cost, tiny things. You know, when the generation, she mentioned it, people complain a lot. We talk, complain a lot. So, Andrew saw something that others were not seeing. He saw, and what we just need is that 5 bread and 2 fishes. And when we bring it to Jesus, the blessing will what? You know that has taught us many times about the blessing. The blessing works. So when you are consumed with the love of your customers, you have to love your customers. You can't even fake it. You are sewing clothes. you're seeing the vision of your customers wearing your clothes and they are happy. You are seeing your employees also owning companies, starting new ones. So the way you treat them, will be different. The way you treat them will be different. So, from this text, I will draw out 6 things that we need to focus on. 6. 6 things. Sometimes I look at myself that, Dayo, can you even do business? Like, for me to even stand in front of you talking. I was trained an engineer. I can write many programming languages. By 11th month, I was already placed on Google projects. And I prefer to be at the back. But Jesus called. I saw the people that he wants to feed. And it's about the people. Yes, when you feed the people, 12 baskets will remain. That is the profit. When I look at myself, I say, but there's power of God. So the first thing, business model. The second thing, the first thing, business model. Business model is the shape, the structure, the size of the business. And I submit to you that a good business model is derived from a vision. Now, there are 2 kinds of vision. There's the spiritual vision. That has taught us many times. How do you test a spiritual vision? Through the Word of God. And when you are confused, you take it to the elders. There's the power of God that brings this vision. And don't let your current self, your current circumstance, your current resources stop you from pursuing the vision that is bigger than yourself, that is bigger than your circumstance, that is bigger than your resources. So there's a vision. Paul testified, said, for I have not been disobedient to the vision, to the heavenly, Reverend Toto, I think 2 months ago. Now, most of the business that are funded is through spiritual vision. And it's always like, I always like, why, like, just allow me to just do something like agriculture. There's no business that is easy. But like, I find myself doing like very, very hard things. The second one is the human vision. You can, from conference last year, we learned that we can create vision, we can cast vision, we can distribute vision. And make sure that the vision that you are creating is bigger than your current resources, your current capacity. And when you see this vision, you are thinking, how can I feed the next 100,000, the next 10, the next 1 million? You know, people-centric, people-centric, people-centric. People are praying. People are trusting God. Jesus is still in the business of feeding men. So the vision will come. We just need to have the desires. So the second one, I mentioned human vision. Make sure that it's big. Make sure that it's documented. A vision that is not casted is not a vision. It has to, because there will be a time that you wonder, did I actually see this thing or not? You go back and look at it. Now, what you see determines where you get to. What you get. During Tomiwa's wedding, God gave me this wisdom. He said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. That when we count our blessings, we should count the number of our givings. So, I was telling you that your focus can be, how can I give joy to my customer? How can I make my employees happy? How can they also feed their family? Because when we are hiring, that's how I'm thinking. And where do you get these people? The church. Let me tell you, from my own experience, the worst person in the church is still better the best person in the world. Because at least they will pay tithes. And that is also your local community. Remember, when we're talking of the people, government is also your people. You are running a business, you are thinking of not paying tax. That business cannot grow. You don't want to pay VAT. You are concerned, the governments, they are not spending the money rightly. Let me move fast. Talking about products. The second one, I said 6 things. The second one, products. What are you selling? And everyone must sell something. If the inflation is what now, 24 or what? From 34 to 24. How you can combat inflation is not by saving. You also have to sell something that you can also inflate. You have to sell something that you can inflate. The wealth of the Gentiles will come when you are selling something. People will say, we just like him. So, you have to test your products, especially if you are the one that crafted the vision. If it's God that gave you the vision, be rest assured, it cannot fail. If you crafted the vision, you have to do what we call product market fit. Are people willing to pay for the product? Or just your friends and your family, because they want to do. Are people willing to pay? Does the market matches the product? You have the market, the product, and the team. Does the product matches the market? Is the market is the boss? Does the market want your product? If they don't want it, took it. And if you took it, it doesn't work, drop it, do another thing. And we should not be afraid of failure. I was telling an investor that, we've collected money. So I want to change something. Would the investor not think, why you just, he said, He said, if an investor is thinking like that, that means the investor is not interested in your business. So there must be markets and big markets for what you are selling. The next slide. Characteristics of a good product. There's value for money. Needs are met. Customers are happy. Your product is reliable. Your product must be superior. And it's not like you just enter into the stage of that being superior. You start somewhere. The motto of Enyata is excellence beyond borders. I got that from Daddy. Excellence beyond borders. We are not going to say, oh, this software is written by Africans. You are not going to say, this product is produced in Accra. No. We might start somewhere, but that is our focus. Excellence. That product has to be good. Then let's talk about process. The third one. Process is the how. Process is the how. Process is the how. A good process must guarantee uniformity. When you go to Chicken Republic, any Chicken Republic that you visit, their chicken tastes the same. Why? Because their process is the same. Your process must guarantee uniformity. That is what makes it what? A good process. Your process must be documented. You have to document it. We are talking about growth now. Because before you grow, you have a printing press in one location. You know, now we are thinking about people now. You are thinking of hiring, like, let's say 500. You have to also expand. You can't put 500 people. So the process that you are using to print, it has to be documented. It has to be well documented. A good process should be communicated properly, and a good process is error-proofed. Process is very key. The fourth one is profit. So the 12 baskets. Revenue minus expense is your profit. Entrepreneurship is high risk. And I will advise, if you are not married, if God is putting something, it's better you start. Because running a family and a business together, my boss, Jeremy, said that the most two difficult things that I will not try again. That's the former CEO of Andela. Say number one, raising children. Number two, starting. So if you can start early, when you are working, your bosses that you're serving, they are most likely going to be your first set of customers. Your friends, your colleagues, the people in church that you interact with, that's where you start from. And again, part of the expenses, you have to factor in taxes. I'm not saying you should just go and dash government money, but you have to pay tax. Give what belongs to God, and Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You have to pay tax. Okay, so if you want to be big, are you not going to pay VAT? That means you are not big. The tax people now, they are on LinkedIn. They will find you out. you know, they will find the office, or you are not going to have an office. Once you have an office address, then you've run a business for 5 years, you've accumulated debt. So collection is key. When we talk about profit, collection is key. In Africa, people don't like to pay on time. So you have to have a process around that to make sure that money is coming in. You are not just doing business. You are paying people every month, and you are doing a lot of jobs, and we can't see it on your balance sheet. So you have to be aggressive with collection. Even if you have to hire 2 people to man collection. Another thing I want to talk about is that you have to de-risk sales. You have to de-risk sales. De-risk sales. What do I mean by that? My boss told me, he said that if they ask you to, let's say you are selling something of high value. Let's say you're asking people to pay 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, 50 million. People will only do business with people that they know or that they have referrals to somehow. So how do you get your first set of customers? That risk, you have to take part of the risk to yourself. So what did we do in Enyata? I told them, you only collect money after you deliver. I will break it into months. We don't deliver, we are not collecting money. Because there's a culture of people messing up people's projects. So when people hear that, they say, so they just know that these guys, they know what they are doing. And if we don't deliver, we are not collecting money. And there's no upfront. That can work in some kind of business. But there are other ways to de-risk sales. And because our attention is always on the money, I say the people. The people. The people. The people. A friend was telling me that this business I want to start, I want to get as many people in my church. That business is going to work. You can't tell me, like, it's going to work. It's going to work. I said, why? He said, because if we get a lot of people in church, the money that they are going to be paying as tithes to the church will help the church. It will work. It will work. Another one is feedback and review. Feedback and review. Feedback is what you ask for. You ask the customer. There's nothing that you are doing, you must ask for feedback. No, like, let's say you are helping people to make their dress. Send a form to them. They start even thinking about that business in a special light. Or you're an MC. How did you see our service? Grade was 0 to 10. Reviews are things that people write about you. It's not, you are not the one asking now. People are writing. And that is what people use to make decisions on the business to choose. In fact, people go desperate to buy reviews. Yes, people buy reviews. You've not been sent emails that we can create like 20 reviews for you about your business. The reason is because anything that is critical or expensive, people will start looking at it like, who has enjoyed this service before? If you want to choose an hospital, you will not ask people that, who has used this hospital before? People will go and read reviews. Even items of 100,000. So it's very important. And when you collect feedback, that is when you know that you messed up. You messed up. So you go and beg the client to, before the person will go and post you online. The last one, celebrations. I believe that I'm conservative, and I learned this the hard way. We have to celebrate. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say again, rejoice. Celebrate every milestone. First 10 customer, celebrate, buy drinks for your staff. First 50, celebrate. First 100, 1,000, and like that. You boost the morale of the team. Anniversaries, they are doing birthday. Before I would say, why is it that people cannot bring cake to the office? Why is it that people cannot just bring cake and give all of us? I learned that people can take this thing personal. You know, it's the people that we're talking about. So we celebrate people, buy cake for them. Their wedding anniversary, give them thing. They are doing wedding, give them 200, 500. Life events, holidays, team bonding. Celebrating failure in order to succeed. Don't kill your team. You know, our focus is on the team and the customers. I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. Jesus is still looking for men, ambassadors, disciples, businessmen and women that will help him feed what? 5,000. Ours is to bring the 5 fishes and the 5 loaves of bread and two fishes. Jesus is still looking. When I was living in Yatta, one of my fears was, how would this thing... I struggled for like a year. Because I was so much attached. And God told me, it will be better. In fact, I think they are running better now. God is looking for men, women. And what is limiting us? Fear. You are a doctor. Our God is saying, build me an hospital. But you are thinking about, like Philip, you are thinking about the 20 billion naira that it will take to build a standard hospital. You are a teacher, and God is saying, build me a school, a Christian school. You hire people. Imagine you have schools in all the cities in Nigeria. You hire people, you pay them salary, they feed their family. You raise godly children, and you are saying, what if? Especially when you are married. I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. Thank you so much.